Why, hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Dishin Days, where we serve up a full dish of Peacock's award winning #1 hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives. I'm your host, Tony Moore, and I'm joined by my gaggle of gals. We have in the hizzle,
In the hizzle, dizzle,
for shizzle,
rizzle, for shizzle, Michael Madizzle. I knew that wasn't going to work.
Michael Madizzle.
Madizzle.
And of course, we have the dripped in green and ever so beautiful.
Aw, thank you, Tony. Hi, everybody. I'm Araceli. Happy Sunday.
Araceli.
Araceli.
No.
You can do it with her
in
name.
the hizzle.
No.
And we have Jay Zizzle in the hizzle for shizzle.
Tony, no.
No.
No. Hey guys, Justin Hareld here.
Don't be trying to be proper. Don't be trying to be proper. Hello. My name is Justin Hareld. Hello, everyone. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We are live and in living color if you are watching us on YouTube. But if you're listening to us on your podcast, hey, we are much later. So while you're watching us on the YouTube channel, make sure you go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the notification button because you definitely don't want to miss all the fun shenanigans that happens on this show. And while you're at it, go ahead and follow us on all other social media platforms. We are Dishin Days Show on Facebook, Dishin Days on the Instagram, and _Dishin Days on the Twitter. The @ is currently hanging out in the Demera crypt, hoping to spook up another Demera. Also, make sure you go over to our podcast station. We are on your favorite podcast station, so you can take us along on that long road trip or walking around the neighborhood or maybe taking a run on a treadmill in the gymnasium. That's gym in Espanol. We are on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. So just type in Dishin Days and you'll find us and add us and make sure you listen to us wherever you like to go. And of course, we got merch. So buy it. DishinDays.threadless.com. We have all sorts of good stuff there. We've got our Meliswin logo, our Possessed logo, our official Dishin Days logo. And of course, if you want to serve up a full dish, you can let the girls know that you are about that dish life, that Dishin Days life. So just make sure you support us, everybody. And for your full soap opera fix, head on over to our good Judy James Lott Jr., JLJ Media on YouTube for a recap of General Hospital, Bold and the Beautiful, and Young and the Restless, and original audio dramas, taking it back to when soaps were just on the radio. JLJ Media has your full-on soap opera fix. That announcement brought to you by the kind person and my chocolate twin, James Lott Jr. Not a paid advertisement because I don't get paid to shout out a friend.
He's not paid for this announcement.
All right, and that is it for the church announcements, everybody. First off, welcome, Days of Our Lives, to the streaming service Peacock.
Yeah.
Before we dive into how we thought this week was, what did you guys think of Days on Peacock? I mean, I've been watching it on Peacock, so it's always been easier for me to get through, especially on days where I haven't watched all the episodes and I gotta be here to give a recap. And you can just turn it on and it's just like quick, boom. What did you guys think watching it on Le Peacock?
It was, the same show, just different. I would usually watch it on my DVR.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like that.
You're so old.
And yeah. No lies told. Okay, was that paid right there? Was that little thing paid right? Your little Peacock cup?
Nice.
We should block it out until we get a check.
You're probably right about that, honey. You are probably right about that.
All those $1.99 subscriptions.
So in other words, you won't ever use that
hockey for 3 weeks.
Right.
Um,
Go ahead, Michael.
But it's nice that the commercial breaks are short.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I can still get through it in less than an hour. And then I saw some people on Twitter saying it was nice that they could watch it at 7 a.m. while they were eating breakfast, or they can watch it like any time of the day now. Because before, when it was airing on NBC, it would air at 1 o'clock and then they wouldn't post it until 8 on NBC.com or Peacock or wherever they were posting it. So now you can, starting at 6 a.m. Eastern time, which means
3
on the
a.m.
West
our
Coast.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like if you're,
Yes.
you know, either if you've woken up early or haven't gone to bed yet, you can, you know, watch your days either early or late
Mhm.
Yeah.
at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., whenever. Yeah. So
Exactly.
it was for me. It wasn't an adjustment.
Yeah. Araceli and Justin, what about you guys?
Go ahead, Kristen.
I think it was just a smooth transition. Yeah, I've been watching same. I've been watching on Peacock as well. So I'm usually just playing catch up. Yeah, nothing different. Well, and content wise, we've been told we're not going to see too big of a difference for a couple of months to come.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I doubt that they're in a hurry to like re-edit months of episodes just for yeah.
No.
I wouldn't.
Same.
No.
I've been watching on Peacock forever, so I love it. I love the either 60-second commercial or 45-second commercial, and
Sometimes none.
in the
It'll
background.
just like, I don't know if it's a glitch or whatever, but
No,
sometimes they'll just be.
It's actually the more you watch
Yeah.
of it, like you're watching them in a row. Sometimes they'll flag that and just like
Mhm.
kind of skip commercials. Yeah, and yes, to what Araceli was saying, we technically won't see anything Peacock influenced until into February, probably March. But yeah, I think some people thought that because it switched over to Peacock that the content was going to change this week or something. So I think
Not immediately, no.
things where people thought like, oh, or they in their mind they thought the switch was coordinated to when Peacock sort of took an influence, but that's not the case. These were going to air on NBC already. These were planned to air on NBC, and they're just now airing on Peacock. So yeah.
Megan says, I don't hate the Peacock thing, but my husband is mad I'm using all the data when I watch it in the car on the way to work. Well, look at that.
Yeah.
Look at the advances of
Right?
having it on
Exactly.
Peacock
Yeah.
now. Now you can take days on the go.
Yeah.
No interruptions, no breaking news, none of that.
Exactly. Well, that was
yeah,
one of the
that's
things
another thing, yeah.
that I liked was that watching it on Peacock. You know, if there was breaking news, because everything seems to happen in the world at 1 p.m., right?
Right.
Between 1 and 2.
Mhm.
So if anything happened, I didn't have to, you know, go, oh, where did I end? And then back in the day, I used to have to go to NBC.com
Yep.
to pick up where I left off because sometimes it would be the entire show, it would be half the show, it would be the last 10 minutes or something like that. But now I can, you know, there's no interruptions. You can just watch straight through. And I mean, the only thing that I'm curious about now is I know that it's going to be the same show, but what are the changes that we're going to see in the future? You know, will we get another sorry mom for this holy shit moment, you know, like we
I hope
did
we get
during
lots of
Beyond
them.
Salem? Yeah. So is that my only very sad thing is still seeing fans who are like, I'm not going to transfer over. I'm not paying for a show that I've watched for free for, you know,
You
40
have
plus years.
never watched it for free.
Well, I mean, true, because you did have to pay for cable, but
Yeah.
it's just, it's just very disheartening because, you know, we can only assume and this has been kind of said that like network TV is not the future. Streaming is going to be the future, right?
Mhm.
As far as we can tell right now, and it's one of those things where it's like I feel like some fans would have rather seen it cancel than to just pay $20 a year or $1.99 a month for right now to continue watching it. So to those fans who have been enjoying Peacock and been enjoying, you know, Days this week, that's not the official one. That's just a 3 snaps. So thank you guys for doing that and for continuing to support you know, support the show that you say that you love. So but yeah, that's the only disheartening thing was just to see fans still go, I'm not paying, I can't afford that. I'm like, I say I can't afford a lot of things, but in actuality, I can.
Yeah. And again, you're paying for the whole service, not just days. Yeah. Like when I switched my mother over.
Yeah.
Michael Madden, I can't with you, but we have not. But we are just giving you our honest opinions, like fans of the show. You know,
Yeah.
we're here with you guys, so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will say this again, not as a recommendation, but just as a fact. True fans, savvy fans who watch in other countries I haven't necessarily had the privilege of having it be on NBC, or don't necessarily have direct access to Peacock. Find ways. I'm going to leave it
Yes.
at that.
Well, but I also don't think it really changed anywhere else. I think everywhere else you can still watch it the same, as far as I know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, someplace.
Even I'm gonna say, even if you're pirating it, you still able to watch it. All right, now, what did we think of this week's episodes of Days of Our Lives?
I felt like the first part of the week was a little slow, and then second half of the week, last part of the week, it ramped up a little bit. A little more engaging than first half of the week, but I realized it's because a lot of what happened the first half of the week we knew was going to happen from that extended promo. So like nothing we saw or heard was very like or surprising. So maybe that was a factor in it. Whereas if we hadn't got that promo, it would have been a little more engaging. But it was a pretty decent week.
I love our fans who have watched Patrick. Patrick TV was like, it was an info week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just gonna say that. Yeah, it was decent for me. Nothing really like crazy or shocking. Nothing that exciting, but it felt like a little bit of like we're setting up for bigger things to come down the line. Which I'm fine with. I mean, you need those weeks too. But
it was a setup week.
Yeah. It definitely was that. It was definitely setting us up for definitely what's to come next week, which if you guys stick around later on, we do have a sneak peek as always as to what's happening next week on Days. But let's break down this week. It is now time to start Dishin Days. That's probably the closest we have ever gotten it. We said it and forget it. All right, let's start off with the storyline of Orpheus, Kayla, Steve, Kate, Roman, Marlena, John, Rafe, and Jada. Okay. I'm very curious as to what's the plan. What's Orpheus' ultimate plan?
Mm-hmm.
I'm very interested in how this is going to play out. I think the only thing I'm kind of like, girl, about is Orpheus, that situation with your wife, with Patch, happened decades ago.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't get yourself into some therapy, if you don't phone a friend, if you don't do something just to rid yourself of this energy of needing vengeance, that ain't going well.
Like how many times? How many?
Been trying to do it.
How many other full pardons do you think a dude's gonna get? Like,
exactly.
Leave, go live on an island, go enjoy your life. It's just stupid.
He has the opportunity already.
Tired is what it is.
New Zealand is an island nation. He had the opportunity. He didn't take it. So
exactly.
So he's just going to be stuck forever.
Yeah. So it's like I'm curious, but I'm also just kind of like, oh man, is there another reason you can want to do this? Because I mean, it's quite cunning how he has kind of played them as they think they know Orpheus and they know his move and what his next step is going to be. He's like, tis, mofos. I actually distracted you. And I done, poisoned your dearly beloved. What did he keep calling Kate?
Sneezy.
Sneezy?
Oh, Sneezy, yeah.
Sweetness, Doc, and Sneezy.
Yeah.
Because I kept being like, is he being shady? Like,
yeah.
I still kind of felt like Kate's probably the most removed from this situation. Like, at least like Orpheus and everyone else have like decades of history, and I know she's like, damn, like I just got with Roman like last week, and now like, you know what I mean? Like I'm being.
She literally had that look on her face that was just like, motherfucker. Like,
it's like
because his history. The reason he's doing this to Kate is because of his history with Roman.
Yeah,
not because of anything Kate did. Kate was like, I did nothing to you.
At least with the other women, he's gone back and forth with them before and had issues with them before. Like Kate, like he has no relationship to Kate whatsoever. So yeah, she sort of seems like the odd man out in this, where
she's collateral damage.
If I were her, I would have been like, listen, Orpheus, can I just can we call this even or something? Like,
there didn't seem
you like that. Yeah.
In terms of his plan, like this is his plan, is to kill these ladies. Like that's just it. His and it's almost like a final, maybe he's considering it like his final revenge against these dudes. And it's like, I'm killing your ladies. But as we know from the promo, there's more coming to this.
Yeah.
But yeah, like in terms of a plan, I feel like that was his plan, to poison them and kill him.
I love John Del Rey's suggestion of Rolf needs to bring Rebecca back to life so Orpheus can move on. I don't care if this has a zombie with half her face missing.
I think we've seen that movie and it doesn't end well.
Oh god.
Oh my goodness.
What is that?
Thank you, Betty Jean, for the super sticker. I have no idea what a super sticker is.
Is that sitting? Is all that money sitting in an account somewhere we can't access?
I have.
Tony can access it.
Yeah,
probably. Okay. But I mean, I'll have to look into it. Thank you so much. If anyone else wants to do a super sticker, then feel free to do a super sticker to us.
That happened at AfterBuzz one time. We kept getting something, and we're like, "Oh, people can donate money."
It's happened to us here. Even last show or 2 weeks ago, someone did it, and I didn't. I was like, "What is that?" But we were interviewing Brandon, so I don't know if maybe they were trying to get a question in or something. Yeah.
I mean, maybe it just goes into an account. But thank you so much. That keeps these lights on, because producing this show, it costs.
Takes a minute,
yeah. But we do it for the love of days.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just curious as to like what the overall thing is, but I'm also just curious to how this plays out, because as we saw in the fall preview, like they all gonna be damn near on their deathbeds. So, and then one of them actually, you know what? I kind of feel like going back to the fall preview when they showed Kayla in heaven, I feel like they were like, "Hey, we built this heaven set.
I knew, right? Yeah.
Let's use it.
Let's use it one more game."
I immediately thought of that beyond Salem.
Yeah. Oh my god, are we gonna talk about the promo then?
What, the fall preview?
Well, because that was the one part I was like,
"What? Who did she see?"
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, who knows?
You know, I had a thought. I originally had, and now I can't remember it. It was when I was going to bed the other night. I was like, "Oh, I bet it's this person," and not the person I originally thought it was. But now I can't remember who it is.
Obvious person, but then I'm like, based on
because the first person I thought of, I was like, no, what we know about that person, they're not.
Oh, I know. What you mean. Yeah, I know you mean.
They ain't up there no more.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
yes.
So
then I'm like, well, until then I'm just like counting on my hand. I'm like, okay, let me go back through the history. Like, who could it be? Also, who could it be that actually is the actor?
Yeah, that's another thing. There aren't many people who have gone on that are the actors are still living.
Yeah.
First off, Kristen, I guess. So if you want to do it,
that's all on you. That's totally
all on you. Side note, I have to acknowledge this. I want to see Peacock stream Dishin Days as an after show. Listen,
from your lips.
I did a tweet that said, if you want to see Dishin Days do stuff with Peacock, retweet this. So, and we have over 6,000 people on our Twitter. So go find that and tweet Peacock and let them know, like, hey, we've been doing this for 7 years. We would love to do something on there, like the official Days After show or something. Because there was a time period where shows were doing that.
Yeah.
Shows would show the show and then they would have, but then like there was like a short time, like a few years ago, where you would watch the show and then they would air like an after show with like people to talk about it. And I was like, oh my God, this is the time to hop on the train. So listen, if you guys love us that much, head on over to our Twitter, which is _Dishin Days, and find that tweet and retweet it, or tweet Peacock and say, go take a look at Dishin Days, because we would love to do stuff with them. Anyway, that was just a sidebar. But that's really it with the Orpheus storyline, right? Like right now, they're sneezing. They've all passed out one by one.
Yeah.
So now we'll just see.
This storyline up to this point was just made for Orpheus's one-liners.
His whole, first of all, Orpheus is such a technology genius because who can send a message to where all their phones connect? And then John wasn't even in the room. He was like, I assume everyone got the same phone call.
It was a group text. It was a group text where he sent a video. That was my assumption. I was like, oh, he sent a group text with a video, and that's how they all got it. It wasn't no fancy. He just sent a group text.
Yeah.
I just love that he's always eating when he's messing with them. Like,
well, listen, when you're being diabolical, you kind of work up an appetite. Yeah. So there's that. All right. So who? Oh.
Yeah.
It was long. It was like an entire episode. I was like,
Tony was about to flip out.
It was.
Oh, did you hear that? Who? But then I was like, oh, he's talking about one.
Yeah.
Anywho, all right, so let's move on to the next storyline, which is Gabby, Stefan, Lee, EJ, Ava, Johnny, Chloe Brady.
Carson in a towel. That was my favorite part.
It was a highlight.
It was it. First of all, I have to say that was the cutest little moment, Michael Manners, because you were like, Carson and towel. It's my favorite part. What do we think about this, everyone? Like, Stefan is back. He's alive. He's been seen now by Gabby, Lee, and
Chloe.
EJ and Chloe. What are some initial thoughts?
I'm actually like kind of into this, and I'm curious to see what's going to happen because I feel like they're actually doing they're actually setting up. One thing this show has struggled with lately in the past few years is coming up with these like storylines surrounding business, and they just always fall flat. You can never really be, there were times where we were like, what's their goal? Like, what is their goal? But now I feel like what's starting now is like, we know EJ's goal. EJ's goal is, to get in good now that he knows that Stefan's alive and Stefan has the shares that Gabby thinks she has. Like, that's just an example, but I feel like they're setting this up correctly, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm kind of digging it. Now it's just a matter of them keeping this up and telling a good story. But I'm interested in seeing where it goes, and they've clearly succeeded in brainwashing Stefan. I'm curious to see how long that's gonna go on for, or is Stefan knew that he was being brainwashed and now pretending? I don't know. But maybe that's a little far-fetched for now.
Yeah, he's not pretending.
Yeah, the interesting part for me, honestly, I think is the EJ stuff. I'm interested in seeing EJ and Stefan. I think they're gonna butt heads. I think this is. I think EJ's met his match, so to speak, or both EJ and Stefan have met their match. I think EJ is under this guise of like, come on, work with me, little brother. But his goal seems to be for himself. So I think he's.
EJ's totally out for himself.
Yeah, I think he's going to be in for a shock when Stefan gives him a run for his money. So I'm more interested in seeing them sort of go head to head than anything else.
Do you think it'll start out like going ahead like as adversary, or do you think they'll be working together and then one of them inevitably will screw the other one over?
Yeah.
Just who does the screwing first is kind of EJ probably thinks I'm guessing like it'll be a situation where EJ thinks he has the upper hand, but then Stefan is like, nope, bitch, gotcha.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gotcha, and then,
and that to me is the most interesting part of the storyline. It's just Stefan himself. Everyone involved in this scenario thinks that they can manipulate Stefan in some sort of way. Kristen thinks that she can use Stefan as a puppet against Chloe and Brady. EJ thinks he can use Stefan as a pawn to get control of Damara. Gabby thinks that she can convince Stefan to love her again, and that he's just lost a little bit of his memory and he's confused. She's not wrong, because I don't think that the brainwashing took full effect as much as people think it is. Because remember, Lee had to remind Stefan to go see Chloe. He forgot.
I don't think he forgot. I think he's just kind of milling about just trying to be
But
like
but
what
he
happened the
like
past 4 years.
but that's the thing. If the no, but if the brainwashing had worked correctly, if it was really and truly Kristen's puppet, then he would have gone and did what he was supposed to do in the first place, not rolling around all over town trying to figure out what's been going on.
But I think this is a different kind of brainwashing, right? Where like
It is, yeah.
he's not brainwashed to like follow commands
No,
necessarily.
yeah.
He's
Yes.
just brainwashed into being in love with Chloe instead
Exactly.
of
Kind of like gaslighting versus
Yeah.
brainwashed. It's like what Celeste did to
Yeah.
Hope. You know, remember when, or Gina, a long time
Yeah.
where she was reading
Yeah.
except she actually was Hope, so that's kind of a moot
Yeah.
point. But
Yeah.
they thought they were brainwashing her.
Yeah. But so that's my point, is that Stefan is the most himself is the most interesting part about the storyline because he's a wild card. If you notice, he's not probably the way he talked to Chloe was the most he talked all week.
Yeah.
Because and they were not even really his words. It's what Kristen programmed him to say. But to everyone else, he was keeping things very close to the vest.
Yeah.
You know, he did not he let other people do a lot of the talking, and it seems like we are getting the old Stefan who was just very savvy, very
He's collecting tea, as Tony
Yes.
says.
Yeah.
gotta collect that tea, Annie.
Yes.
Which makes me wonder if the brainwashing, like back to when I said like he's pretending he was brainwashed. Like his actions so far, like maybe, you know, there's still a little doubt that the brainwashing, well, like you said, took full effect. So I don't know. Something tells me he's not. I don't know. I still think there's a smidge of possibility that he's faking the brainwashing.
Here's the thing. I still stand with this. Please stop having these characters go after people who don't want them. Like, Lee Shin is going through all this to prevent Stefan from being with Gabby because he wants to be with Gabby. But why do you want to be with Gabby if Gabby's heart still belongs to Stefan? Like,
I mean, it's the same. Why would Sammy go after Austin when it was clear that Austin loved Carrie?
But
It's a power play. It's all about power.
But see, that's different. With Sammy, that felt like more obsession. Like,
yes,
this
exactly.
is my dream.
But this could be
I
obsession
want to be
too.
with this person.
No.
It's not.
Tony and I are on the same page on this. Where
like,
it was,
I feel like this is more ego than anything. Like, I want to be with this person, and I'm going to be with this person, and nothing is going to get in my way.
Yes, Tony and I are on the same page on this. The way with Sammy and Austin and Carrie, it was obsession, and for Sammy, it was as much about one-upping Carrie as it was about getting Austin. Yes, and it's the same thing with Kristen. Kristen is obsessed. She is single-minded. She has convinced herself. She can convince herself of anything. She has convinced herself that if she can just use Stefan and get rid of Chloe, everything else will fall into place. With Lee, it's different, and you could see it on his face. He would have. Yes, he was trying to very heavily to convince Gabby that Stefan doesn't remember her and that he wants Chloe. But I feel like he loves her enough and respects her enough that he didn't push it as far as he could have.
Who?
Lee. Like, she asked him for space, he gave it to her.
Right.
Which I'm gonna give him credit for, which I take as a sign he really truly does love and respect her, but he still has that ego, as Tony said.
That credit goes back when you have put money into a whole laboratory to keep a dead man alive, and then now trying to kill him again because you done fell in love.
I didn't say it was a healthy love.
Yeah.
But I also feel like this. I also feel like they haven't really been together that long.
Wait.
And I almost, if I were Lee, I feel like I would have played this different. I would have woke Stefan up, let them do whatever, and almost allow Gabby to be conflicted. You know what I mean? Because it's like, and no, neither one pressure the other, right? and just like have Gabby like, but you know, I really did see a future with Lee, and I was getting over Stefan, and now he's back, but you know, maybe he's not the same Stefan, or maybe there's something about him that's just different, or maybe her life is just so different now 4 years later that you know she's just kind of like I'm torn between someone that I've called the love of my life,
Mhm.
but then there's my current love. So I don't know
Yeah.
because and I know stabby fans are gonna stab me when I say this, but it's you know for me it's just kind of like I'm torn because I like Gabby with Lee,
Mhm.
and I think so much time has gone by that I've kind of forgotten Stefan and Gabby.
Hmm.
It's been a while. It's been
I know. Yeah.
years.
4
So
years.
it's almost
Yeah.
like they'll have to establish that, like
They'll have to
reestablish
reconnect
that.
them again.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they've been
Which
apart.
is
Stephanie
fine.
has been out. Yeah.
Which is fine because their courtship was so fast to begin with.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There was really, when we talk about this relation, we have talked about this relationship more than they were actually
Yeah.
together. I think they were actually only together like 3 months.
Yeah.
If that, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
There was
Gabby and
lead
Stefan.
up. There was lead up to it.
Yeah.
but
There was a lot
it-
of but them
but like
actually
together.
Yeah.
Yeah, was not that long.
Mhm.
So I don't mind us taking our time with this, and if they have to end them reestablishing a relationship, if anything, I think that's the way to go. Not just because of Stefan's brainwashing, but because I'm sorry, Gabby's just been through too much.
Hmm.
Girl is not going to go from like 0 to 100% happiness in one day. It's just not going
Mhm.
to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is just gonna be and I don't know how because Gabby is just now all about Stefan. Like, where's Stefan? Where is he? I'm gonna get the love of my life back. And it's like, you got Lee. You got tall, fine Lee.
But they still haven't developed that relationship enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, it's
No,
Lee. Lee. Tall, fine, do it whenever you like.
But this is
Lee.
what Tony feels. This is not what Gabby feels.
Let me tell you something.
Tony would take either one. Now let's not be picky.
Okay. I'm just saying, because listen, when we all said it when Lee Shin
Oh,
first
yeah.
started making up, we were
Mhm.
like, we want to see more of him.
Mhm.
Where is him at? Him, and now he's here, and it's like, dang, but we still want him.
Oh my god.
I just wish they invested more in him and in turn more in his relationship with Gabby.
Yeah.
I feel like they're resting on just the fact that, and they did this years ago with other pairings, he just can't be the opposite of the popular couple. Like, you need to like give him his own personality.
Yeah.
Maybe like let's see him more with other people. We saw in the preview, like the sister comes. Maybe we get more of him through that relationship. It's just
think we will.
it's a little too much blank space for someone who has now been front and center for a couple of months now. I just feel like they need to lean into him a little bit more.
I really think we will. I mean, we're all speculating, but I think that everything that we're talking about, I think it will come to fruition. I think we just need to take our time with this one, which is, again, is fine. I'm all for it because it just gives us more to work with.
Yeah. Johnny and Ava.
Bleh.
I just feel like it's too soon. Like, Jake just died. Like, you're in mourning. You're not. You know.
Mhm.
Don't like it.
I feel like any person who was that in love with anyone and they pass, like, you just don't want to be with nobody. You just like, you know, just like, you might be cute with your abs and your smooth body and your muscles and your
your
tight
JS.
little booty, yeah. But I need to be over here just by myself, just, you know, trying to figure out things and
Hey,
figure out my place.
she did though. She figured out that that's
they yeah. It was more on her than him, but yeah, they stopped it.
Yeah.
She stopped it.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
Yes.
EJ, honey.
EJ is
Oh,
Gladys
oh,
candidates. I'm not here for.
you gotta love when you are reminded that your mom does watch the show. You look down and your mom has said, "Okay, now slow your roll."
Thank you, Mama Moore.
But I also know that my mom is thinking the same thing. My mom is sitting on the underside like, "Slow your roll," but you right, he fine. Anyway, um, what were we talking about?
I
EJ.
know. We're, oh,
Bleh.
EJ and him stomping all around town, being a
yeah.
brat.
Like barging,
Since
barging in the door.
you know,
on his,
Johnny's not doing exactly what he says to do, so he's, being a brat.
on
Those
his
darn
25-year-old,
kids. Don't you hate when they actually have minds of their own?
And I think Johnny is like, but first of all, EJ, you have to take accountability for the fact that you sold Johnny up the river.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, you got your nerve to first of all welcome Ava into the home, then kick her out,
Yeah.
to then put Johnny in a position of taping him in this like just kind of moment of like, yeah, Dad, like this is what she said,
Yeah.
and then use that conversation. It's like you got to take some responsibility, and you need to play the cleanup woman right now because
Mhm.
you have done just a little bit of damage, and I know that EJ is he's grasping for control because remember when EJ came into town, he was basically like, "I'm back, you're out, you're out,
Mhm.
I'm CEO. This is how we're." And right now, he's like,
Yeah. Yep.
like he doesn't have a leg to stand on right now. But
No.
it's just like if you just play it cool,
Mm-hmm.
then maybe things will fall into place. You don't have to be the puppeteer. Maybe sometimes you
Right.
got to be the puppet. I love the fact that everyone keeps saying that they like the peacock mug. First of all, I got this from
Peacock.
I got
You're
this
not
from
gonna say like, "Oh, I went to Target and got it."
No,
Like they sent it to you.
I got it from when we did the interview
Oh,
about
the
Dave's
Yeah.
moving to Peacock. But I like that you can read Peacock like
Yep.
on the screen. It usually would be backwards.
Backwards, yeah.
Yeah, I like this little mug. And no, we're not getting paid for this. The host is not be conversating about these opinions. Don't we know that?
Oh my gosh.
Um,
Anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
but that's pretty much it, right? Like
Yeah.
with that storyline.
I'm glad they kind of put the brakes on that. I mean, I don't, in my opinion, I like I said, I like their chemistry together, but I like them as like friends or like teaming up for something.
Yeah.
So I'm totally fine with them like just having them be fond of each other or work
Yeah.
together or something, but no romantic.
Do y'all think Chanel still has feelings for Johnny, or was she just kind of like, "Boy, what you doing?"
I think
I think there was a twinge of
yeah, care.
jealousy and
But
care,
but there's care.
jealousy too.
And really, I'm sorry, I have not forgiven a lot of these people, EJ and Allie in particular, for not realizing for months on end that there was something seriously wrong with Johnny.
Mm.
Like, of course you don't have to, think he's possessed, but if somebody goes like from zero to a completely different attitude, yeah, there's something wrong, and you should probably take notice and probably not continue to call him a child and chastise him to his face repeatedly when your sorry butts didn't realize when he was in trouble. And now instead of saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize it," and thank you for thank you Johnny for saving my life, Allie. Yeah, I haven't forgiven a lot of these people for a lot of that, so I don't understand
I think
why they're
and Allie,
chastising him. I get that Johnny acts like a certain thing, but if I don't get it. I don't like it.
Well, I think what they're upset with him about now, and Allie brought it up, was that he tried to get Paulina to help him break Chanel and Allie up. So it's not like, and he didn't do that when he was possessed. He did that post possession.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was full on Johnny. So I think that's still it's not about what he did as possessed,
devil.
and yes, there probably should be a little bit more empathy towards him, maybe because of what he went through, and they didn't recognize it. But he made a choice, and
He made a choice.
there's
But the
consequences
fact
for
that here's the thing. Chanel is the one who's recognizing that and giving him more empathy than his own family, and that's what I have a problem with.
I think Chanel is, I don't know if she's jealous or if she's just, you know how it's something you'll get annoyed if someone moves on fast, even though you've moved on. I think like she found some sort of comfort in the fact that he was pining for her a little bit. And if he was sort of like going for her so hard to be like, oh, like, you know, I picked Allie, it's a couple weeks later and now you've already moved on kind of thing.
I think she just genuinely cares about him and doesn't understand why other people aren't willing to forgive. You know, maybe it's just that Chanel is willing to forgive faster than other people. That might be it.
I think that Chanel cares for Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
And in this moment, it's kind of like, what are you doing? Like, this woman is older, and it's Tripp's mom.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Like, I don't want you. I am happy with Allie, but what are you? And I kind of want Alex, but what are you doing, Johnny? What are you doing with your life, boo? Are you just, do you just not want to be single? Like, you just gonna hop on everything? Like, what? Like, that's where I feel like she's coming from. Is she doesn't want him. She doesn't want to be with him. She thought about her decision, and she thought about it wholeheartedly, and she thought about even the effects of it. So we can't take that away from her. She generally still cares about this person, and is just looking at him like, "What are you doing, honey? What are you doing?" Anytime I say that, I think of Nene going, "Where is your scooter? Where is your scooter?" You will only know that if you're a Real Housewives of Atlanta fan.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, that's that with that storyline. Let's move on over to the courtroom, shall we?
Lord have mercy.
With Brady, Kristen, Belle, Chloe, and Le Judge. Listen, what I would like.
I like how the judge, the very first moment, was like, "This is not a trial. This is a custody hearing." That she let turn into a trial with.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, didn't she say 20 minutes ago this was going to be a trial and now it's a trial? Judge Judy needs work.
Okay.
Wait. First of all, Kristen, not you. No, let's be for real, Tony. Chanel is missing that D. She not missing it.
No.
She got something else. But I do agree with Dylan. She want that threesome.
Oh, she definitely with Allie.
Yes, she do.
Yeah.
She do. She's kind of looking at Allie like, you sure?
Yeah, right.
You sure? You really sure?
We could try it. We just talk about it.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, but back to the courtroom.
Tell me they're not trying to recreate the Sammy custody battle from 2 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
That was my first
similar situation. Well, yeah.
It's not as
different, but the same.
Successful as the Sammy one to me was really entertaining, and this one is just kind of like frustrating. I feel like.
Well, this one is sad because it's like, listen, Kristen, realize this.
Desperate.
You have not been in Rachel's life for years because you have been on the run. And you've been doing your dirt. Brady has ensured a proper life for Rachel.
Yep.
Why would you jeopardize? Like, okay, even hello, Kristen, you were 20 minutes late to the custody hearing because you and Lee had to talk about the fact that Stefan is Roman and is up. Like, you had to have that conversation right then when you're supposed to be at the custody hearing for your child. So while you doing your devious work, then Brady could be like, all right, well, it's my weekend. And Kristen could be like, great, I'm going to the secret laboratory so I can, finish up some work. It just, the difference between, as I think, Justin, you said, Sammy and Eric and everybody, like that was entertaining to see Sammy, represent herself. This is just kind of heartbreaking because I'm with Belle. and when she went to
Yes.
Kristen and said, just drop this and let's just discuss this and let's figure out a way for both of you to be happy. And Kristen is just trying to win because she can't have Brady. It's
Yep.
like, you can't have Brady. Move on. It has nothing to do with Chloe. It has everything to do with you. Because even when you were doing everything that you were doing, Brady still loved you. And at one point, he just had to say, enough.
Hmm.
I love you enough to say it's enough. And you left.
Mhm.
You was gone.
Mhm.
Instead of all this, like, Chloe versus Kristen and all this stuff, it's like, just say, let's just share custody, Brady. You
Hmm.
are a wonderful man. You have done everything. Because let me tell you, that little folder she brought in on Brady,
Right?
I wanted a moment of Brady being like, "Oh, we bringing in folders? Hold on," and you just hear something go, "Do do do do," and just have like people just
Have it all dumped into the.
Yeah. Yeah.
to
Because they
where.
kept. Okay. Sorry.
No, I'm just just to where like the judge is like, we need a recess because
Yeah.
I need to take a look at these files.
Hmm.
And they kept making a point of saying, like, the stuff she was pardoned for, they can't bring up. And I'm like, well, what about the other 18 years of stuff she's done? I mean, the
Mhm.
stuff she's pardoned for was
Yeah.
like the past, a year and a half of stuff
Couple
she's
years,
done.
yeah. But there's all the stuff she did,
Yeah.
during
It was
the
just, it's a
island years.
little
Yeah.
far fetched. And I think we all see where this is going, obviously. Like, we have Stefan in the picture. How does Stefan get close to Chloe if she's with Brady? So I think we see where this is going. There's going to be some sort of arrangement of a breakup or something between them, I'm guessing, in order for Brady to keep some sort of custody. I'm assuming that's where they're.
Brady and Chloe are gonna start pretending again, like
Yeah, exactly.
or like acting.
That's what I'm
Okay,
thinking.
that's tired, but okay.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
That's tight. Okay.
Yeah.
Annette Thompson, I'm with you. I love that moment of when Brady and
Yeah.
Chloe figured out that that's who Kristen.
I was
I'm
like, wow, Brady figured
I
something
know.
out. Good for you.
Brady
I
gets a
really was
bad
like,
rap
I was
from
like, oh,
us,
good
yeah.
for you.
oh, good for
Oh my
Brady.
I'm with you, Mike.
Oh.
Oh, you have to, yeah.
I was like, he took his smart juice this morning. That's great. His ginkgo biloba.
I can't go.
But oh my gosh. But yeah, there was one point during the trial where or the custody hearing that I didn't like, that Kristen was trying to bring up all this dirt on Brady. It's like, girl, let's not go tit for tat. Honey.
Yeah.
Let's not paint him out to be this horrible father.
Look, here's the only.
No, you're not about to try to defend Kristen.
No, hell no, no. But here's where I hope this goes. And the only reason I thought that was interesting was because we know that we forget that Philip's case is still technically unsolved,
Mm-hmm.
right? We also know Kate's going to get very, very, very sick soon.
Mm-hmm.
Could this be a sign that Philip is coming back?
I don't know.
Maybe.
That's the only way I will
True.
be okay with all of this happening.
So that Philip can walk in and be like, surprise, mofos.
Surprise.
Really quick. Well, I'm going to say it anyway. Shout out to what was just 180 people are watching us live.
Yeah, it's been up there. It's been in the 170s pretty much the whole show. So.
Thank you guys. I hope you guys are enjoying our little show, and make sure you spread the word to everyone. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that's pretty much it with that storyline, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on to some tidbits. But before we do, make sure you follow us or subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're watching us live right now, just click the notification button or follow us on all social media platforms. We are Dishin Days Show on Facebook, Dishin Days on Instagram, and _Dishin Days on the Twitter. And of course, follow us on all podcast stations. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And buy some merch. Buy a shirt, buy a hoodie, buy a towel, buy a mug, buy something.
Not the peacock mug. We don't sell that one.
We don't sell that one.
This one is not available at dishindays.threadless.com. All right, let's move on to some tidbits. We got a little bit tidbits, which are just, we've been doing this show for so long that I don't know if I should probably always explain what tidbits are. Tidbits are just, the of information that have been thrown out, not full on top storylines, but, just a little bit progressed in the storyline.
Yeah.
So we have Jada, Eric, Nicole, and Rafe. Have we done a poll to see which team we're on?
Yeah, we did
Team Jada.
2 weeks ago. Yeah,
Yeah. Are we still Team Jada?
Yes.
Yeah. Jada and Eric. Yeah,
I'm just Team Jada.
just by yourself.
Team
Yeah.
Jada,
Ilya Cantu.
I'm Team Jada. I just don't want her to. Actually, she's not really losing right now because she's, getting hers. But I don't want her to be the loser, And I feel like if she goes after Eric, it's inevitably gonna like this whole situation is Rafe, Nicole, and Eric are messy. And she's just over here on the side being like, yeah, I'll write it again. Okay, let's go. And so good for her. But I just don't want her to be the loser. I want her to get hers, but also, get more.
Yeah.
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 Here's the thing. I think I'm with a lot of people where I think there were a number of chances for Eric and Nicole to reconcile with each other, right? Side note, I also don't like the fact that, and we'll get into this later, I don't like that now Xander is being blamed for Eric and Nicole not being together. And it's like, no. The reason why Eric and Nicole are not together is because of Eric. You got married and literally, after saying I do, hopped on a flight to Africa to be with the village. Now, you could have been there for a week. You could have been there for 2 weeks. I'll give you a month. You were over there for a year.
Yeah.
What was Nicole supposed to do? And especially when you took all of your attention from your wife to this village. Now, granted, we do know that, Greg Vaughn went off to do Queen Sugar. I don't think he was supposed to be back on the show. They needed an exit, whatever. Yeah. We know that behind the scenes stuff. But in regards to the storyline, you left your wife for a year. And there was I understood what Nicole was going through, which is why she ended up hooking up with Xander. It was just like, I just need to feel good. I just need to feel wanted. I just need to feel.
Was it a good decision? Was it a great decision? No. It wasn't a great decision. But it was an understandable.
Yeah.
It was understandable to a point.
Yeah.
And then
because of what you just said.
And then Eric once found out, and especially in the way that he found out, blew everything out of proportion. And then it was just like, so now what are you supposed to do? So
because people don't want to hear that they're the ones that messed up.
Well,
people don't want to hear. That he had this, and he said it. He said it this week. Finally, said it this week. I don't understand.
Newsflash, everybody. Eric is the one that messed up Eric and Nicole.
Yep.
Well, someone made a good comment that Eric and Nicole aren't together because of Eric and Nicole.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Was Eric mostly to blame for what happened? Yeah, because he basically abandoned his wife. But Nicole did, like I said, it was a bad decision.
Yeah, it's both of them. I mean,
it's both of them, and Nicole's actions are understandable to a point. So blaming other people for them being, it's their own fault. They were toxic. They didn't,
And I said this way back. I remember saying this way back when it happened. It's not just that Eric abandoned Nicole. People say there was somebody who said don't put logic into it. This is a real life scenario for a lot of people who do service work, who do missionary work, who have jobs that take them away, people who are in the military, people whose jobs take them away for months, sometimes years at a time. It can be understandable. if you go into the relationship
Yeah.
knowing that that's what it's going to be. But that is not what Nicole agreed to. She had the rug pulled out from under her literally within the first week of her marriage. She did not agree to that long term. That was not the marriage that she signed up for. Had she signed up for that kind of marriage, had she said, okay, we're going to do this kind, this is, if this is what your calling is, had they sat down, had a conversation and said, this is the kind of marriage that we're going to have because I know that this is your calling and I know that this is what fulfills you, that would have been fine. But that's not what happened.
Exactly. He made the decision for them. Yeah.
I mean, this seems so telegraphed. I think the way to go would have been to build up the Eric and Jada relationship while also building up the Rafe Nicole marriage, and then maybe
instead of just jumping right into everything. Yeah.
Basically, Eric comes back, Nicole sees him 5 minutes after marrying Rafe, and she like completely forgets about Rafe and is all about Eric. Like it's
conflicted and having dreams about doing the nasty.
Now Rafe is having dreams about. I was like, oh god, no. He's
dreams. Like they're all a mess. Like they're all fucking messes, and it's just Jada again is just sitting by, going to work, going to Eric's, going to work, going to Eric's.
People these last few years. That's all it's been.
But here's the thing, though. I feel like Jada is very understanding, a little annoyed, but she's understanding of Nicole. Even though she's just kind of like, well, all things lead back to Nicole, huh?
Yeah.
I feel like she's just kind of like, listen, I think you're hot. I'm interested in you. She finds him very, even more interesting, especially finding out that he's a photographer and looking at his photos and everything like that. She is in this dating phase with Eric. And I root for Jada and Eric because they should be allowed to have a fresh start because them together, they've had way too many chances to get it together and they did not get it together. So Nicole and Rafe, y'all build your stuff. Eric, let Jada, like you and Jada build your stuff, and then just be friends. And listen, if it's well established and then something just clicks later, I think maybe I'll be able to accept it a little bit more. But the fact that right off the bat, she's just very like, Nicole's very like, well, you're having sex with him?
Yeah, I know.
It's like, oh, you're married. You are married.
I'm not even going to touch that. I've made my feelings on that very clear. Although I give credit, here's what I think Jada is picking up on and where she should be annoyed is that, like you said, Tony, we like her and Jada and Eric deserve a chance to explore whatever this is. But more to the point, Jada is not a person who wants drama in her life. And now she's being sucked into, why did Nicole lie? Am I going to have to lie to my boss? It's putting Jada in a very difficult position that she should not have to be put into.
Yeah. She just found a hot man that wanted to take her out and lay up with.
That's all she wants. Like, she does not want to touch this drama with a 10-foot pole.
Nobody said, oh, you want to date Eric Bray? Okay, so let me just sign you up for drama. Okay, Jada, it is. Jada, that's your name? Jada. Signed up for drama. Got it. Like, no one's here for that. All right, moving on. We have Paulina, Abe, Chanel, Allie, and Stephanie.
They baked a bunch of cookies. They have to remake them. Stephanie did stuff.
Stephanie's now getting softened by the like Abe Paulina relationship history, which is like, wait, what?
Maybe I will.
This will be so much more interesting if and when we figure out who the hell broke Stephanie Johnson's heart.
Oh yeah, you mean soon to be cast actor? Yes, who will show up once she gets close to either Alex or Chad. Will make his return.
Yeah, it's not interesting until we get to that point. They gave him to some Girl Scout troop.
I was going to say that. You know what? You know what they should do? Cookies. They should sell them in order to fundraise for Paulina's run. or save them for re-election for mayor.
Right.
Um,
Stale cookie.
um, Stephanie reminded me a lot of when she came into town and she was just like talking about the guy that broke her heart. It reminded me very much of Maxine Shaw from Living Single, where she kept talking about her ex-boyfriend and how he packed up his raggedy duffel bag and left. And if you are a fan of Living Single, you will know that that was the consistent thing throughout for a little bit, that this ex of hers just packed up his raggedy duffel bag and left. It reminded me of that. Anyway, I think it would be interesting to have whoever this guy is pop up at some point, because I'm curious to know who he is too. Originally, I actually thought it was going to be Alex. And I thought that when they ran into each other, he was going to be like, you. But then that didn't happen. But it must be an Alex type, which is why she's so resistant to Alex. Anyway, good job, Chanel and Allie, on baking all the cookies and baking all the cookies round 2. I think Paulina has 4 votes here for governor.
Yeah. I'm interested in the storyline much more than Abe as governor.
Yeah, I like it.
So there we go. All right. We kind of touched on this a little bit. Stephanie and Alex. I just want to look at Stephanie and be like, girl, stop resisting. Just go with it. And she's at a point where she's kind of like, okay, like we can go and celebrate, but I'm about, like she's like letting Alex know, like, I'm not one of these cheap thrills that you're used to. Okay. I am strong, I am independent, I am smart, and I have my stuff together. Okay. And I am gorgeous.
She's
I
good
am
enough.
Woman.
She's smart enough.
Yes.
And doggone it, people like her.
Yes.
Where's that from?
Yeah.
Stuart
And it's
Smalley,
like there
Saturday
were people who say, but like, why don't she just get to know him? Why doesn't she just give her him the chance to get to know her like he wants? Well, because he came on just way too strong. And I'm sorry, when you get to a certain point in your life, you get to a certain age, you know exactly what you know exactly what you're looking for. And if he ain't it, he ain't it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Why does the chat room think that Mike Horton was her ex?
Mike Horton,
because he's
They're
making
talking
a
about it in the
return.
chat room.
Oh no, she's not Horton.
No, because aren't they related?
No.
Stephanie,
Aren't they related?
No.
she's not Horton.
Kayla's a Brady. No.
Stephanie isn't a Horton.
Nope. She dated no, because she dated a Horton. She dated 2 Hortons. She dated dated what's his face that was terrible, and the other face that was boring.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I didn't like either one of the Hortons that she dated. So
I will say I do love the like I was gonna say threesome, but friendship sort of
that's
group
right.
of Chanel, Allie, and Alex. Even though it teeters on, we talk about like Chanel. I think Chanel, like you told me, Chanel definitely does want that threesome deep down.
Yeah.
No pun intended. But I think I like the idea of them coming together. And a lot of times we talk about this, we don't see a lot of male-female friendships and them sort of building that up like we did, say, in like the 90s. And I like them to continue that aspect of it.
Okay, can I ask? I forgive me if I keep doing the same polls over and over again, but we're going to do a poll. Who thinks that Allie and Chanel should just have the threesome with Alex?
I think it'd be kind of fun and interesting.
I think it's a little early in their relationship to be dabbling with others.
Yeah,
just my opinion.
But
I think they would go into it thinking it would be, just a good old fun time. But then I don't think their relationship is on solid enough footing to be able to do that.
They don't have a solid foundation first before they decide.
Not a solid enough foundation. I feel like they're still too fresh to start doing that, because I think it would fracture the relationship.
I don't know. I teeter because I'm like, why not?
I think it'll only hurt them if Alex wanted Chanel, because I feel like other than he's probably the perfect person for them to do something like that with, where they can get up the next morning and be like, that was fun, cool. Let's go, let's go get
grab a
Yeah, they're not in that place.
Yeah.
No.
They're not like, okay, so like I say that as an outsider, as a, they should, like, if I was in that situation, no, I probably would not make the mature decision.
Yeah.
But
My mother says no, it would not be good.
Mama Moore.
So, all right, Sarah and Xander, I will let you guys go first.
This
No,
is so damn stupid.
But same.
Yeah,
So damn stupid.
It's like, girl, you have to understand this. Xander was devastated.
Mm-hmm.
Devastated when this happened. Xander was a mess.
Yeah.
When this
And
happened.
she was able to get over every, like, Chanel, which I keep forgetting about.
Yeah.
Like, they were married. Like, she didn't have a problem with that. What else did she not have a problem with?
This is the third argument. They've had this argument 2 other times. The first time with Gwen, the second time with Chanel, and now this time with Nicole.
Well,
so do we think, like, okay, so my question is, like, do we think Sarah is actually this upset about it, or do we think this is residual, like, effects of her shots or whatever?
No, I think she's upset. I think she's upset, but I think more than anything, it's the idea. I think she overreacted because her honeymoon bubble got popped by reality, and the reality is, you knew who you married.
Yeah.
You knew who you married. You were just living in this la la land. Well, actually,
she was living in a la la land.
Truly, for quite a while, and then you were living in another la la land where all you could see were, was getting back to Xander. It was one that same goal, and then you expected everything to be hunky dory, but that's not life. You knew who you married.
And I get that, like, I think for her, it's like, I asked you to tell me everything that happened.
I give her credit. Yeah.
But that's kind of like I need a moment in the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly.
Come out in 5 and just say, all right, okay. But for her to be like, oh my God, Eric and Nicole, I just have to say, I'm so sorry. I feel like it's like, girl.
Yeah. For me, it was 2 things. One, I actually thought they were going here where it was going to be revealed that he tried to kill Lucas and Sammy. That's what I thought she was going to be pissed about and like to make a moral like issue about. I was like, okay, that I see a little bit more than like the sleeping with Nicole thing. And so I think they hinted at this, and I think this is where they're going with the storyline, but it just was executed sloppily. She made the comment to him, which I thought was really great. She said something about like, I'm not going to be your conscience, or I can't be your conscience. And I think maybe that's what she's really upset about. The fact that if she's not in the picture, he reverts back to type. And I feel like maybe she feels like, okay, when I'm with you, I keep you in line kind of thing. And maybe I don't want that. I don't want our relationship to be like that. I kind of feel like that's really what the issue is, but it was sloppy.
But here's the thing. There's a difference between in the relationship always having to be the responsible one and constantly having to scold your partner, and them just naturally making the decision to be better because you're around.
Yeah.
Which makes their relationship different. Xander becomes better just by having Sarah around. She's acting as if like she has to scold him and keep him in line. She doesn't have to do anything. He naturally becomes better when she's around because he's more relaxed. He feels centered. He feels like he has purpose, and he can, he feels more confident in himself, and that's a better sign of a healthy relationship. But he's also himself. He makes stupid mistakes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she knows that about him. He made the ultimate stupid mistake when he was in love with her by switching her baby.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she still forgot that.
You forgave
me. If she forgave him for
Nicole.
that, I don't know what we're doing here.
She's forgiven him for. Yeah, this is where
Yeah.
I'm hoping we get a thought out. What's the word? Believable.
Yeah.
Explanation for the way she acted. I think it's going to be the serums.
Oh, okay.
Or someone pointed out maybe someone stole that Sarah mask and it ain't really Sarah, which would kind of be annoying.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll see, but
Sarah,
I want a better explanation because after this week, I am not Team Sarah.
no, Sarah, get it together. That when that man came out that bathroom in that towel with them chesticles, you have the audacity to get mad. Like I would have said, now you lit.
Oh, fine.
Drop that towel. All is forgiven.
I forgive you. Anyway, we'll see what happens. But that has been your week of days, and now we are moving on to our segments, and we're going to start with mine, which is Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. Oh, which is Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. All right. So listen, my 3 Snaps Award goes to the unknown Demira, Giuseppe Demira.
Giuseppe. Giuseppe. Is that a lady or a dude?
No idea.
It's a man.
And in all
It's a
honesty,
man.
this character is not listed anywhere.
Oh, I don't know.
I did a search because after a while I just kept staring and I was like, who is Giuseppe?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, let me look it up because I'm like, maybe it's before my time, whatever. And there was no info on this person. And so I'm like, well, honey, I'm gonna have to give it to you because you're the only person in this creep that we don't know. So to the unknown Demira, Giuseppe Demira, you get
Does
Tony's
James
official
Jr. know? Did you ask him?
3 Snaps Award. No, I didn't ask him.
No, I know originally when they brought Stefano on, there was this big thing about he was one of like 7 or 8 brothers, and I think originally it was going to be like a Demira clan kind of thing, and maybe I think they just stuck with Stefano. So I don't know if this is like a nod to that, like when they first introduced him, like all these sort of dead people that we don't know about are in this crypt. I don't know if it's supposed to be like those brothers that never showed up or never materialized or whatever. But.
I don't know what it is, but honey, it got a lot of camera time, so
Right.
It gets Tony's 3 Snaps Award. Okay, come on, Giuseppe Demira, whoever you are. All right, and now it's time for Caption That.
All right, this week's Caption That photo comes courtesy of Stefan and EJ toasting what I guess was an alliance. EJ did most of the talking, and like we talked about, Stefan just was like, okay. So this week's caption goes to Tam Lizanne O'Driscoll, long name, on Instagram, with her caption, "Here's to being Rolfed."
Here's to being Rolf.
The phrase, the term coined by Miss Gabby Hernandez. He was Rolfed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Same as you. Oh, shit. I removed the wrong one. My bad.
What'd you do?
I removed you instead of the picture. Tony went bye-bye.
Less shade. But that has been...
That literally
You have to watch that back when you disappeared and Michael was like, oh shit. He like jumped.
Well, I looked up and I just saw Michael go and then there was like a black and then I was like, what happened?
I thought luckily I was just able to put you back in.
Oh my god.
I thought you was gone.
Oh.
Tony got Rolfed.
I did. And just when you thought I was gone, poof! I'm back. But am I Tony?
You're mad.
Oh.
Are you Tony? Oh.
Maybe I'm Giuseppe.
I still think Giuseppe's a lady.
Probably.
Because Giuseppe.
It would still be right.
Is that his mother? Yeah, we gotta find
I'm
that
Giuseppe.
out.
Oh my gosh.
All right, and now it's time for
Those were the days.
Yes, this week's Those Are Days, I'm taking you back to September 13th, 2004, where we had the lovely, lovely Julie Pinson take over the role, assume the role of Billy Reed. She is the 3rd incarnation of the character, famously first started off by Lisa Rinna and then Krista Allen. Yeah, Krista Allen, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I just give it up to her because her character, her Billy is more like Lisa's Billy, and sort of Krista is sort of the outlier of the three and the characterization of her. But I think she did great when she came on, and we've seen her a couple times come back and forth.
I feel like
I remember
Julie.
this particular one. She came in. She had a lot to do. It was the stuff with Bo and Hope. It was the return of Georgia, if Georgia's alive, which later became Chelsea, and she just sort of came in with that and just like immediately like took charge of the character and just like ran with it, and just I give her a lot of credit.
I feel like Julie was a good mix of Lisa and Krista. They kind of found someone that meshed both of those two portrayals, and like Billy is one of those characters where like they switched actors 3 times, and then back to Lisa Rinna. Yeah. But there's never been not like a Belle situation where they brought someone in and were like, oops, and had to switcheroo again. So they've had really 3 solid Billies.
Side note, did y'all hear that Charity Raymer is going to be on General Hospital?
No.
What?
Really?
Yes. I saw a tweet that she's going to be on General Hospital, and I was like,
as who? Is she taking the role?
I don't know. Listen, I want to give her the benefit of the doubt that that was just a moment.
Yeah.
But it
was also 20 years ago. A lot can happen in 20 years.
Yes.
Who knows what she was.
It's so memorable. But you know what? Good for her.
Yeah, good for her.
Good for her. You let the past be the past.
Guys,
move forward.
Bless her heart.
Shady. And that was September 13th, 2004, where we had Julie Vincent as Billy Reed.
And
those were the days.
That ain't it.
What? That was the end of the segment.
No, I know, but that's not not the right one.
Those were the days.
I love it. Also, breaking news. And I hope this is okay to mention, but Tom Early, the production designer over at Days, who I think is watching live, shout out to Tom. He just messaged me and said Giuseppa Demera was made up. They needed just a bunch of different names.
Oh, really?
Okay.
and he was made up. So thank you, Tom, for letting us know.
Nobody knew about him. He was made up.
No,
that was a lot.
Just Patrick TV just said Ron needs to bring Giuseppa back from the dead.
A few people said that. They were like, Giuseppa's going to be the new CEO in 2 years. New CEO of Demira, Giuseppa.
Can you imagine,
watch Giuseppa, well, listen, Peacock, watch Giuseppa roll up in a year.
Beyond Salem, Giuseppa.
Everyone's like, can you imagine them sitting in one of those board meetings and then the door opens and it's like, who are you? I'm Giuseppa. Giuseppa?
I can't, Michael, the next Beyond Salem, I can't get that out of my head now. Giuseppa.
Beyond Salem, Giuseppa. It's just the life and times of he or she. Unestablished right now. Of them. Be appropriate here.
You know what? That is just another nod to what an amazing production designer Tom Early is, and the crew. They are all amazing. So, kudos, because I was just staring at the name in the bed like, who is Giuseppa?
And they kept focusing on it too. I was like, you could have, they honestly could have put Renee's there, or they could have put another person's there. But the fact that they put that one there, I was like, oh, is that, does it mean something? Or is it
foreshadowing?
There we go. All right. And now it's time for It's a Gift. It's a gift. I did one for it? It's a gift. Well, hot dog. It's a gift. There we go.
Okay.
It's a gift.
Okay. Ready? I'm waiting.
Go, Araceli.
I'm waiting. This week's It's a Gift goes to Miss Sarah Horton doing her best. I'm tired.
Giuseppe's tired, y'all. Give her a break.
Doing the best what?
Her best scolding a toddler impression. That's all I got.
You go stand in the corner right now.
Yeah.
You're in
You love
timeout.
that boy.
Go before I give you a
Mommy's
hat
mad.
shaped like a cone.
Oh my gosh, can we play it again, but everyone gives their interpretation of what she's saying?
Oh yeah.
Okay, Araceli, you go first. Go.
Go before I take away your toys. I'm not that creative, guys.
Okay, Justin, you're up next.
You do
Right.
better.
In 3.
Don't do improv.
Xander, put your shirt on. You're distracting me from yelling at you.
That'd be better. That's better.
Michael Mattis.
You go to the gym and you work on those glutes because your ass is flat. No shade.
Oh, no shade. Wait, well, and I already did it. I'll do it again. Go. It's a gift. That's what. It's a gift, Sander. It's a gift, and that's me, not you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we're so you know what I actually sidebar. You know what I recently watched? Remember when we did the reactions to the unmasking of Nicole? It was this was before you guys joined, but
Yeah.
Michael Mattis, you remember that?
Yep. I don't remember what my reaction was, but
Mike, let me tell you something. It's very hard to get Michael Mattis to play along because he forgets. Like, so me, Tammy, Michael, and Chelsea, we were like, okay, we're gonna pretend like we're background actors in the scene and go. So we're all like Tammy and I, we are in it. We are like talking to each other, and Michael Mattis is like, and I'm like, Michael, you're supposed to be like in it. Whatever. It was fun.
I don't doubt that happened.
It did. It did.
I don't remember it.
It did.
But
Someone, you know what? In fact, Dishin Days fans, send that little clip to Michael so that you can see his reaction to it. Tweet it. All right. So you guys, those are our segments, and now it's time for news. Oh wait. Oh, actually, news and gossip. Oh my god, that's the new sound now. I gotta create that.
Yep.
We're starting off. I'm going to offer some condolences.
And that has been your news and gossip. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
Offer some condolences to friend of the show, Jordi Villasuso, and his wife, Caitlin. They have a podcast. We've talked about it before called Making It Work. In the podcast, they talk about their life and career and family and all that kind of stuff. And they have, they've revealed maybe, I want to say a couple of years ago, a year and a half ago, that they suffered a miscarriage. And they recently just revealed that they suffered another miscarriage. And they want to make it a point to sort of share that information and share their sort of fertility struggles. And they've been doing that on their podcast now for a while and just kind of opening the dialogue between them and fans and supporters. And they say they seem to get a lot from it. So go check out their podcast. Go show them some love. We just want to offer some condolences and prayers to the couple. They're a really great couple. And yeah, I'm sure they'll whether this as they have the others.
I think we all can appreciate when any of the actors are just very vulnerable with us. Yeah. You know, we had Lindsay Godfrey, who's been very open about, mental health, along with Maurice Bernard.
Yeah.
Excuse me, about mental health issues and stuff like that. And the fact that Jordi and his wife are sharing something that can be so personal and so like just raw and emotional, in hopes of their story will help someone else get through or understand or can relate to. That to me is truly amazing. And so we send, not only love to them, but also healing to them as well. So yes, thank you guys.
Yeah. Next up, we have some casting information. Mr. Mark Hoppe, who played Nathan Horton on the show early 2000s, I believe. Mm-hmm. He has now been cast as Johnny Depp in Tubi's movie version of the Depp Her trial called Hot Take: The Depp/Her Trial, which will premiere.
They mean hot mess.
What? Right, I know.
Don't they mean hot mess instead of hot take?
Yeah.
Jesus.
So this will be interesting, Mark. And if you see Mark sort of outside of Nathan Horton, which was not always a favored character, but he himself seemed to be a very gregarious guy, and so I think it'd be interesting to see him play Johnny Depp, sort of, how shall I say, weirdness, eccentricities, and yeah. So we'll be checking out for that. So congrats to Mark on that. It's a pretty big role.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next up, also some congratulations to friend Casey Diedrich, who played the original Chad back in the day. His new show, which we talked about, called In the Dark, it just just wrapped up his run on the CW, a 4-season run. It has the last season just got uploaded to Netflix, so you can watch the entire series In the Dark, seasons 1 through 4 on Netflix right now. So a big just round of applause and congratulations for completing another successful show. Casey is always working and has done some really fun, great things since leaving Days, and just well wishes on his next project. And yeah, we'll be tuning in.
And y'all go show him some love. Tell him Dishin Days sent you.
Yeah.
I'll know what it means.
That's it for news and gossip.
All right. And that has been
funny story about Casey, and someone just mentioned Molly Burnett.
Yeah.
I had a long time ago, same time around last week when I mentioned seeing Teo Panglis at Costco. When I was out to lunch with my coworkers, I saw Casey and Molly eating lunch at the Z Pizza in Burbank. And again, my coworker and I were like, oh, it's Chad and Melanie. We were too shy to say anything, but it was really cute. They were a really cute couple just sitting there eating their pizza. Also at Z Pizza, it was being run and managed by Zachary Ty Bryan from Home Improvement.
Oh.
Ah.
That's why they call it Z Pizza.
Shit for you to stew on.
Oh, I love these stories of sightings. Sightings by Michael.
Yeah.
The best were Costco, though.
Yeah.
Always at
And
Costco.
Tony DeMira come out with a cart full of Costco.
All right, you guys. Before we end our show, we must show you what is coming up this week on Peacock's Days of Our Lives.
You had a sex dream about me?
Love in the Afternoon is now Love 24/7.
You do make me a better man.
Watch Days of Our Lives anytime on Peacock.
Maybe, on some level, you still love me.
What happened when you were stabbed?
Vanilla. I smell that.
And the must-see moment we've been waiting for.
It was him. He murdered my wife.
Ooh.
Vanilla.
24/7.
Just
Vanilla.
doing it 24/7. Oh, I'm glad that this week, it looks like we're going to find out who killed Abigail.
If it's who everyone says they think it is, I'm gonna be mad because we talked about this a little before the show starts. It's not. It doesn't make sense for this character to do that. The character that they're talking about has, been, what's the word?
Through it?
Has had a lack of scruples, we'll say, in the past, but never has been murderous or has never been violent. So to make this character a killer would be ill-advised and just not really make sense and be a complete effing letdown. What's the matter, Tony?
My mother.
Oh, what'd she say?
It's about damn time.
Yeah.
Music. Turn out the lights.
I got a feeling Abigail's murder is coming tonight. Okay. All right. It's about that time. In a minute, they can reveal the Abigail murder. Who did it? We want to know. I'm good like that.
So I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out this week. All right. Well, listen, you guys. So just to let you guys know now, next week's show will be pre-taped. But we are going to we pre-tape it, but we premiere it so that you guys can still come in the chat room and chat among yourselves. So it's either pre-tape or nothing.
Yeah.
Because we busy on the 25th. We all got things to do. We all got cointadas to make, birthday celebrations to be had. So we busy. We are going to be busy. But guess what? We're still going to bring you a full dish of peacocks in Days of Our Lives next
It's
week.
going to take some getting used to.
Yep, it is. It is. And once again, if you guys want to see us do a collaboration with Peacock, tweet them. You guys don't understand that, like, fans have a lot of power.
Yeah.
And so if you guys really want to see that, let Peacock know so that they can reach out and we can like start doing some stuff because it's about damn time.
Especially now that your fans paying for the content and they specifically wanted to get you onto their platform, you probably have a much bigger voice now than you ever did before. So
thank you guys so much for joining us here on Dishin Days. Before we head out, Michael Mattis, where can they find you on the social medias?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at MLMattis.
They can find you on both of them?
Yeah, both of them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Araceli.
Two.
Araceli, where can they find you?
Two.
You can find me on Twitter, exclusively on Twitter, at Tia323 Araceli.
Just on Twitter?
Exclusive.
Exclusively on the Twitter.
Justin.
Yes.
How about you? Where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Justin Lee Hareld.
Exclusively on Instagram?
Exclusively, yep.
Oh. These exclusive deals. And you can find all of us on social media. Dishin Days Show on Facebook, Dishin Days on Instagram, and _Dishin Days on the Twitter. And of course, you can find Little Old Chocolate Me on all social media platforms, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Lounging with Tony. Follow me. Follow all of us on our social media or medias. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will see you next week as we give you a full dish of this week's episodes of Peacock's Days of Our Lives. Until then, enjoy yourself. Have a wonderful Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your week and stay safe and be well.
Yes.
Bye, everybody.